We talk a lot of crap on this channel about console versus PC, but today we're gonna actually put it to the test.
What we have right here are two setups for $600. One uses a console, one uses a PC. Which one is actually better? We're gonna test it today and find out, but first, a word from today's sponsor.
Today's video is brought to you by our friends at Cooler Master and some of their new products like the Cube 500 Flat Pack, an innovative flat pack design that gives DIY PC builders a chance to build your case as you build your PC, while also delivering exceptional build quality and design. This makes for a very fun and unique way to build a gaming PC. If you're looking for a power supply, then don't overlook the GX3 Gold. With wattages up to 1250 watts and a flexible ATX 3.0 connector that is also 90 degrees, making it perfect for next-gen gaming PC builds. Lastly, if you're in the market for a powerful tower CPU cooler, the Master Air MA824 should be on your short list, with its sleek design and support for even the most power-hungry CPUs. Learn more about all these products today by checking the link down below, and big thanks again to Cooler Master for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get into the video, shall we?
So here's how things are gonna work. We had $600 to spend on the entire setup, and that includes the console and the PC. With the Xbox Series S here, it does support keyboard and mouse, so we went for the full setup option for those games that do support it, so we got a keyboard and mouse and everything. And then for the PC, we've got everything you need for a PC.
In this day and age, yeah, you can use a keyboard and mouse with the console, just like you can use a controller with the PC, so really they're very interchangeable. Consoles are more like PCs than they ever have been, and honestly for $600 each, pretty crazy to think that we got full gaming setups here, but which one is actually going to be more playable?
So let's go ahead and talk about each one of these setups, what it took to put them together, and then test them in two games. We're gonna play Warzone and we're gonna play Fortnite, and Jackson and I are gonna test it on each setup and determine which one we like the best. All right guys, let's talk about the console setup first. Now, the console we chose is the Xbox Series S, mainly because of its price point. This thing can be had for on average $259, and it plays games at 1080p, high refresh rate with a caveat in most of your esports titles like Fortnite and even Warzone on the settings that are defaulted on the console. Now, we're gonna actually be able to do side by side here to see which one looks visually better, because consoles have a little bit of trickery where they do some downscaling to make the games run at high refresh rate or higher resolution. So we'll be able to see side by side which one looks better, but at $259, regardless of all that, it's a really competitive price right now. Now with this setup, I actually had a little bit of extra money to spend, so I was able to get some Xbox Series S accessories to make this setup a little bit more advanced. Now what I ended up getting was this dock, which is called the vertical cooling stand dock that you can get on Amazon. It actually comes with these swappable batteries, so you can put a rechargeable battery in your Xbox controller, which by the way, the Xbox Series S does come with one controller out of the box, and if it didn't eat my controller, it actually allows you to easily dock your controllers and recharge them, which is really cool. It does have a built-in fan, which you might be able to hear. It is a little bit noisy, you probably don't really need it, but it's a cool feature to have if you really worry about the temperatures of your Xbox. And then it also includes this nice headphone stand for the headset we're using. These right here are the HyperX CloudX, which are specifically designed for Xboxes. Funny story, I actually bought this because it was a great price on Amazon for a budget PC gaming setup, only to realize it only works on console. It only has one connection that works only on Xbox controllers. So I had this here and I decided to use it for the setup, and it's like $30 for a pretty solid looking headset. And here's the mic that you can add, so you can yell at people in Fortnite or Warzone and just get really angry with everyone that you're playing against when someone speed builds on you, which is probably gonna happen to me. But it's a really solid headset, and the only downside, I guess you could say, when you are using the keyboard and mouse is with this headset, you have to have it plugged into the controller. But I kind of have it set up here where you can have the controller on charging all the time, and then the headset can be used right here while you're on keyboard and mouse. So not a big deal, but if you wanna avoid that situation altogether, buy just a normal headset and plug it into your monitor. And one other little thing I got right here is this USB expander, because we had a lot of USB stuff we had to plug in. All it is a USB expansion that takes this one USB 3 port on the front of the console and allows you to have 4. Nice. Add a little bit of extra money to spend. These are accessories you don't really need to get, but if you want to save a little bit of money, you can just go with the console and everything else here. But I think it only adds like $60 or $70 for this whole tower and the little USB hub. Now for the monitor, we have this really awesome AOC monitor. This is the 27G15 27-inch 1080p 165 Hz monitor. Now with the Xbox Series S, you can push out 120 Hz on most of the games that you can play, like Fortnite and Warzone. So we're not fully taking advantage of that, but again, we love PCs. So having a good solid monitor that you can upgrade to a PC later is not a bad idea. And it was a really competitive price. There's a lot of good deals going on monitors right now, and we highly suggest 27-inch display. displays. 27 inches is definitely the max for 1080p, but having this big of a display will give you a much better gaming experience compared to smaller monitors. Now, the rest of the setup, you don't necessarily need to use the Xbox because it is an Xbox, you use a controller, but some games do support keyboard and mouse, and getting close to that PC gaming experience is definitely, well, awesome to be able to do. Now we're gonna talk about the keyboard. This is the IROK FE87, which Jonah just showed me has a cool feature where you can remove this cover. Wow, and get all your Cheeto dust out of there if you want to. Or if you just prefer a raised keycap design, this is a good option as well. But we really like these keyboards because they're very budget friendly, come with really solid switches that sound pretty good. Pretty dang good for a budget keyboard, and it has RGB and it's white, so it matches our color scheme for the Xbox Series S. Now it's kind of crazy with this setup, and I'm gonna have to remove these because this is gonna be a problem here. This is the glorious Model O. I was able to fit that into the budget with this Xbox Series S. Definitely an overkill mouse, but a really solid mouse. Lightweight, got RGB, got all your programmable buttons on the side, but it's a really solid, well-built mouse that will work really well with a gaming PC or this Xbox. And honestly, again, you don't need to spend this much, but to fill out the $600 budget, because the Xbox Series S is only $259, I was able to opt for higher end peripherals. And last on the desk, we have this extended desk mat, which is just a very basic white extended desk mat with a nice design on it, a nice wave design. Again, you can do whatever you want for this. This is all up to choice, but I try to keep the white theme going on here with this white extended desk mat. Just do not spill your Mountain Dew and Cheetos on it because it will get kind of messy. And all in all, for $600, I think the setup is very capable. Now, what we're gonna go ahead and do is talk about that PC setup, because again, here on the channel, we are PC guys. We highly recommend going into PC gaming because there's so many more options out there compared to console. But what do you get for $600 versus this $600 setup?
I got put in charge of planning the full PC setup, and what I got was kind of interesting. So at first I thought about just building a PC and then building the setup, but I was like, well, the ease of use of the Xbox is so nice. I mean, $260, and then you have all that money left over for the full setup. My thought was, let's make this easy and cheap if possible. So I picked up this HP Acid Green Pavilion off of eBay for about $400, and it came with some okay specs. I'm gonna show you guys right here. For the specs of my HP Pavilion, we have the AMD Ryzen 3 5300G, which is a 4-core, 8-thread APU from AMD. We have 16 gigs now of DDR4. It only came with 8 for the $400, so for, I think it was $17 on Amazon, I got a Crucial Stick, so now we're at 2 of 2, 3200 megahertz. That will be in the total, it'll also be in the description down below. We have a 512 gig SSD that is just a Gen 3 SSD, and then this right here is our GPU, the Radeon RX 5500 non-XT, which has 4 gigs of dedicated GPU RAM. And so this is just a nice little looking computer. You could build one yourself that would look a lot better, and honestly, if you follow some of our guides, you could probably get a decent amount better build for $400, but I wanted ease of use. I mean, people who are coming from this type of setup like console may not be really ready to completely build one from scratch. Maybe you just want to buy one and kind of upgrade it as time goes on. And this one does have a little bit of an upgrade path. So since I had to spend $400 on my PC, my setup is not nearly as cool. I ended up going with a Sceptre 27-inch monitor, which I believe, I know it's high refresh rate, but how high is the refresh rate? It is 100 hertz. It is a very weird refresh rate. I just like Matt said with his console, you know, he's only gonna get a max of 120. This PC right here, maybe in Fortnite we'll get more, but in Warzone also we do some really awesome settings, like very, very basic. I don't think we're gonna get over 100 FPS. So honestly, 100 FPS is right, it's a good sweet spot, you know, right in the middle, but it is 27-inch, so very similar to the AOC, but if you want the really high refresh rate, go with the AOC. So for $35, I got a combo for the keyboard and mouse. This is the Mage-Gi, literally called Keyboard Mouse Combo Blue Switch. It was $35 with the keyboard and the mouse, and the keyboard's pretty nice. It's blue switches. So they sound pretty nice. Came with a keycap puller. I don't think this thing has any RGB. It's literally just like blue, and you can change the effect and everything. It is attachable USB-C though, which is pretty cool. Decent build quality. And the fact that it came with the mouse for $35 is not bad. And the mouse, kind of interesting. It's like silent, but honestly, it still feels good. It just doesn't really make a loud click, which isn't a big deal. But you know, DPI switch, little macros on the side, red sleeved cable, so it's not super bad. And then we have this Marble XXL mouse pad, which ended up being about $17 on Amazon. And if you like prefer a really sizable mouse pad, this one is a little bit bigger than this one. Although this one does look really cool, you do get a little more space with this one if that's important to you. So now I only had $20 left. I had to buy a headset. So I ended up with this smart RGB headset. I don't know what's smart about it, but I do know what's RGB about it. Got some RGB on the side, and it does come with a microphone that's non-detachable. It's definitely not as nice of a headset as the one for the Xbox setup, but it does work with PC. It does have like this inline controller where you can control the volume. You can also mute and unmute. So it doesn't seem seem like it'll be like a bad headset for 20 bucks, but it's definitely a lower end headset, you know, something just to get you started with. So yeah, all in all, $600 for a full gaming setup is obviously not a whole lot of money. And you know, really for either one of these, it wasn't a ton, but for an Xbox, you normally only need the Xbox controller. So all that other stuff's almost just like extra freebies in a way. But with this, you literally need all this stuff in order to play on the PC. So now that we've talked about both the setups, I think it's time to test them.
Testing the Xbox, guys.
Jonah's in pain. He clapped his hands too hard, but you know what? We're in the Warzone. We're finally in. Now, we did still have updates. We did still have to like relaunch the game a couple times, but obviously with Xbox not having anything else really running in the background, like Windows does, it was all pretty quick. So that part is definitely nice.
Now you can definitely tell textures are kind of weird on this. Like they definitely lower the quality to make this work on a console that's $259, but
still looks really good though.
It's still pretty good.
It definitely, like if we built a PC for $259, I don't think we could make the game look like this. So there's really not much here. I mean, it's very, very basic settings. You can change like the refresh rate.
It does have motion blur on if you want to turn that off. I don't know if it's...
Where is that?
Up, world motion blur.
Might help a little bit. But yeah, so as we tell people all the time, you know, Xbox, PlayStation, you know, they have a good amount of, as we said earlier, trickery, where it's basically, they don't really give you a whole lot of settings options because that's kind of like the whole point. It's ease of use, make it nice and simple, but it does make it to where, you know, you can't make the game look as pretty as you possibly could on PC, but you have to have some pretty good specs, honestly, to be able to fully utilize a monitor for a PC. So, oh my God, dude, the sensitivity's so low.
Let's go!
Don't even think about it, mister.
You're done, bud.
It's definitely the one thing I will say, and I remember this last time too, and it actually doesn't feel as bad. There's definitely like some weird like delays / smoothing going on. It almost feels like I'm still on a controller at times, if that makes sense.
Too high.
You know what?
It was kind of aggressive, the built-in DPI.
Yeah, it just went from 0 to 100, but you know what? This is a lot better. Uh-oh, there was a person up here somewhere.
Oh,
oh my goodness. Okay. Might go stick this.
Are they gonna come for you?
I'm trying to look up. Oh God.
Oh, they lost you. He was looking and then he just ran away. Get inside, get inside. Oh. Oh, look at that guy. Oh.
Sit back up.
Yeah, get back up.
Oh, he has a shot. Jesus Christ. This one's like a nice little roof. A nice little calm roof where I'm not gonna die. Can you even have an FPS counter on this?
I don't think you can. What are you? You're hitting like traps. What is up there?
It made me feel like I was like gonna instantly die, but it really wasn't that bad. I don't get what the point of like camping or resurgence is just kind of weird, you know? Whoa, why do I hear windows breaking?
It's because they're coming for you. Oh, here we go. Sweaty gun.
Where's the enemies at for me to kill?
Hey,
yeah,
oh,
okay.
team one.
Oh, he's right.
You got a hot drop on his head.
Man. Yeah, he's getting dropped on. I got weapons.
Oh, did you see that airplane?
Yeah, I just almost hit it. What would have happened?
I wonder.
Right?
Let me off. Oh no, we're the back. Oh.
I think I lost the resurgence.
It was a resurgence.
Yeah,
that was a good run.
That was an okay run. Yeah, no, I mean it felt honestly really good. Yeah, I'm excited to see what like Fortnite is like on this. But yeah, as far as like for me, I suck in a controller, so like if I did get a console, this is the way I would play. And with how cheap they are, it is pretty cool.
All right, guys, we are now in Fortnite on the Xbox Series S, and we are currently on 120 FPS mode, which is definitely lower settings, and you can actually see the FPS this time in this game for some reason. I don't know why, but this one game you can actually see the FPS, and we're holding about 120, but we definitely get dips still. This isn't like perfect locked 120. It's still having PC-like experiences where it dips below 120 FPS. Yeah, I can definitely tell the textures. It's almost like, I don't know, like 50%, 75% render scale it feels like, but it has like some decent upscaling. It's just not like, you know, on PC where you just lower that render resolution down and it makes everything look all pixely. It's all smoothed out. We're doing no build because I didn't even want to try to build on this. It's sort of been a doozy. The view distance is pretty good though. Can I hit a shot? No. All right. All right.
See, on PC, you would have killed that guy right away.
It's so difficult. I'm dropping down. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, it's pretty smooth. I will say, same thing with the mouse. It just feels like I don't have as much fine-tuned controls when it comes to the aiming. It doesn't feel as precise.
It's almost like they give you controller like sensitivity.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like the acceleration too, like even in this menu, like the sensitivity is much lower than outside. So I don't know if like you just don't really get much customization with that. They're missing everything. And I killed Fortnite Kid, wow. Ah! I'm kind of curious, we're on the 120 FPS mode. This is what it looks like now. Let's see if there is a difference if I turn it off. It does look different. A little bit sharper. We are locked at 60 now. So yeah, 60 FPS, not great. You could feel it.
Yeah, I would say surprisingly it doesn't look that, like, it doesn't look like 60 FPS from here.
Yeah, let's see. That's definitely smoother.
Yeah, definitely smoother looking around.
But yeah, it's cool to see high refresh rate in consoles too. That's something where you were just trying to target 30 FPS for a long time. The high refresh rate has always been a big selling point on PC and has been around for a while, especially on these esports titles. And it's hard to explain to somebody, well, now you can see what it's like if you have a high refresh rate monitor and a console, but people coming from consoles, it's hard to explain what high refresh rate actually was without actually seeing it. Ah! What, are they glitching?
They're hacking.
Did they just lag out? What
happened
happened
the controller died.
Oh, I see a battle going on over there. Let's riff to it. Good thing it's Jake the Snake. But yeah, you know what? I'll call it here on Fortnite. Playable,
you gotta play
fine.
it again.
I gotta play it again. And also I've been going for 11 minutes. That's a lot of Fortnite gameplay. A lot of oh, who's shooting me? I gotta kill this guy, and then I have to leave the game. But yeah, Fortnite playable, I will say again, with these 120 FPS modes, you can tell like in this spot right here, stuff's loading in. It's very grainy, it's not super sharp. But we do have a budget PC over here. We'll see what settings we have to run at with the PC to compare. But very interesting test so far. I'm excited to see what Fortnite's gonna be like on the PC.
All right, guys, it's Warzone time on the computer. So we're running a basically basic preset. So we're not quite minimum, like towards the absolute lowest, right above that. So it's not gonna look absolutely amazing, but I do think that we'll be able to get some decent FPS here. Let's go to the fire department.
It's cool that we actually got the same map here too, because we get a decent comparison, and it's already looking sharper just based on what I remember seeing on the console.
Yeah, so it doesn't seem like it's gonna be, it might not be like quite as like good of response time, but then again, we couldn't see the response time on the console, so it's kind of hard to say if we were actually getting like, you know, that good of a response time. Good response time. The FPS is definitely, I mean, we did get dips on the console. We weren't getting like a locked 120 on the 120 mode, but we are getting more like 60 to 70 here. But I still think visually it does look better, and I'm assuming the keyboard and mouse probably feels better. It definitely, yeah. It feels just like accurate exactly when I move and everything, minus the latency, of course. Normally in Warzone, it's ideal to have probably like a 2 to 5 millisecond. So over 10, you know, is a little bit higher, but this is also just a really cheap PC. You know, we didn't spend a lot of money on it.
That's the one downside with PC. Expensive to get into, but in the long run, you do end up saving money and get access to a bunch of other things you would not on console.
The mouse definitely, this one has a little bit of the lift off.
Oh, yeah, having to go with the budget mouse probably is gonna...
Now, how does one get up there? Okay.
Like that.
We gotta resurge a couple of times. Oh.
Oh, he died there.
My ankles.
Whoa, whoa.
What just happened? Is there another?
Oh.
Man, I was reloading. I could have had that guy.
He had no idea.
Oh, that's what that was.
Oh, he's like, I'm
A
gonna
freaking grenade launcher. Nowhere is safe in the Warzone. Oh, I thought I heard someone, man.
Oh, the yee.
I think that might be it. I didn't last as long on the PC, but it performed pretty good. Obviously, if someone told me they wanted to get into PC gaming, they want to play Warzone, I wouldn't exactly tell them to go their way to build a setup like this. I would definitely spend more on the computer and just say like save up a little more. So that is the glory of the console so far, but I think Fortnite will be a different story.
Fortnite time. All right, guys, we are on the PC playing Fortnite, and I have the frame rate locked to 144 because we really don't need anything above that. Performance settings, far view distance, medium textures. Now, this is the beauty of PC, especially on budget systems. You can run performance mode on Fortnite, which again is going to look honestly worse than the console, but people who are playing this game just want the maximum FPS possible, and it still looks pretty solid. Still getting 100 plus FPS. We'll see when we land if that stays consistent. One thing to mention is obviously if you're an avid deal hunter who can build budget PCs for like $250, $300, you can build something that could compete easily with this Xbox. We're going for the approach of someone who's just wanting to buy something off the shelf, build a setup, not have to do any sort of work. What would be the best option? And so far the PC is competing pretty well, even though it is more expensive. But yeah, the FPS is solid. This feels significantly smoother. Much better response. Yeah, I think this for like really competitive gaming is a much better experience. Like I would have not hit that shot.
Did you switch your character?
I did. I had the good Christmas theme.
Oh.
Yeah, run away, buddy. Wood Knight. Oh!
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Where do they go?
I have a weird vibe that's not a real person. I mean, I don't know.
Huh, 560! Pop! Sorry, Anonymous. Yeah, I took your kill. But hey, you know what? Fortnite, very playable. I will say for Fortnite, I think the PC wins. Warzone, I would probably give an edge to the console, but the keyboard and mouse just difference really makes it kind of hard to really pick a winner because you got to decide whether you want visual quality first and a slightly lesser keyboard and mouse experience, or if you're just using a controller, maybe you just want to play on console because you're going to use a controller and have a better visual experience on a budget. But I really think for those trying to do keyboard and mouse, and a lot of people want to play on keyboard and mouse, just PC is incredibly hard to beat, even if you are getting a little bit less performance out of the box or visual quality. So yeah, that's it. That's pretty much the setup challenge. Let's go ahead and wrap this video up real quick.
Alright guys, so the consensus is in, and I don't think it's as clear as we thought it would be. I thought there'd kind of be more of a clear winner, but I think depending on what you're looking for, these both really do a great job for 600 bucks.
And the biggest thing with the console setup is you don't need half the stuff that I purchased to reach the $600 budget. In theory, you don't need this stand. You don't need these other things where you could save more money, and being on a budget on a console setup might be the better option for you. But it's really cool to see that you can build a gaming PC setup using a pre-built, which normally doesn't have the best price performance, that does compete very well with a console setup. So let us know in the comment section down below which one would you choose on a budget, and if you want to buy anything from today's video, the links in the description down below will be affiliate links and it will help us out.
So as always guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you check out our other two YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/toastybros. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And we'll see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.
And if you didn't know, PCBros.tech is our PC selling business, and we will probably be selling both of these setups, you know, minus Matt's Xbox, unless he wants to give it away, of course. So you can get some really good deals in person, or you can buy online.
You want to save money on computers? It's Black Friday at PCBros.tech. Go there, watch it, buy it, whatever. See you guys later. Goodbye.
All the way till Monday.